Now, make no doubt about it, this is very critical because I told everybody that I would be back and that this likely would go through, and the positivity kind of paid off. Now, I'm not trying to say that, I'm all knowing or anything like that, but I do think that it takes a certain kind of person to understand intellectually what was kind of going on behind the scenes with this whole Activision deal. And now that we see that the FTC appeal was denied by Judge Corley and also by the Ninth Circuit judge, it frees the path for Microsoft to go ahead and go out there and do their thing and kind of make sure that they're going to be able to get this Activision deal done. And again, I just want to say that that is fantastic. I called it. We're looking at probably them closing this deal in a very short order, and that is an exciting prospect to say the least, because we're going to be getting all these Activision games in Game Pass. We're going to be kind of seeing what Microsoft can do with Call of Duty, what they can do with Diablo, what they can do with some of these dormant franchises that we haven't seen in a long time. And I told you, I said, hey, this deal's going to pass. It's going to pass. And it did. Just like that. Crazy, huh? But I want to go ahead and get into it and what it means. Let's get started. So many people were wrong and kind of wearing egg on their face. And it was very interesting to see the amount of people that kind of didn't really own up to any of that. And for me personally, I find that to be hilarious, because so many people said, oh, you know what, this is absolutely a situation where Microsoft is going to fail. There's a 5% chance, a 1% chance. People literally said 1% chance, right? Like, I mean, I know that there's a lot of pseudo-intellectualism that goes on social media and, pretty much everywhere, but people really saying a 1% chance? I mean, give me a break. Did they not study anything about how the FTC works, or what antitrust is, or what a monopoly actually is? It was pretty clear that it was never going to hold up, because the FTC never had a case. So now that this is officially over with, done with, finished with, Microsoft is going to be able to close the deal. A U.S. court has denied the Federal Trade Commission's FTC request to further halt Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, paving the way for the deal to close. Earlier in the week, Xbox firm won a court battle with the FTC, which is seeking to block the deal over antitrust concerns. An existing temporary restraining order on the deal ends just before midnight, which actually already did end, but the FTC filed an emergency motion to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals asking for a temporary pause on this. And again, they were hoping to kind of delay it. I think realistically, all they were trying to do was get it past the closing date, hoping that both parties would walk away. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. But now the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has denied its request for emergency relief to stop Microsoft from closing the deal until the conclusion of the FTC's appeal. Microsoft welcomed the news, saying, "We appreciate the Ninth Circuit's swift response denying the FTC's motion to further delay the deal," according to Brad Smith, who's president of, Microsoft. So yeah, there's that as well. This brings us another step closer to the finish line in this marathon of global regulatory reviews, he added. Microsoft can now close the deal after pretty much any time, and however, it still needs to kind of resolve the issues in the UK. The UK CMA, Microsoft and Activision Blizzard announced on Tuesday that they'd paused legal proceedings with a view to reaching out on a court agreement on the merger after the Xbox firm won its case against the FTC. Microsoft wants to complete the Activision Blizzard transaction before the current merger agreement expires on the 18th, after which Activision Blizzard could walk away with a $3 billion termination fee if an extension isn't agreed upon. Now, what's interesting here is there is rumors that they are trying to agree on some sort of extension right at this particular moment, and I don't think that is needed at all, to be honest with you, because if you think about it, they could just work around it. There's many different deals and things that could be had to work around it. I think you have to close as soon as possible, because what happens is, if they close, let's say they close on Monday or Tuesday, that's not enough time for the FTC to come back and try to file anything. If they wait weeks, that would be enough time to let the FTC go out there and try to file more nonsense and drag this out and on. And again, that's exactly what we don't really want to see. So hopefully we can see exactly what's going on with this sooner rather than later. I think everybody is pretty much at the same kind of point as I am with this. Is we wanted to see it to kind of come through. We want to see what it's going to be able to see in terms of Activision content coming to Game Pass, what it's going to be like seeing, just thinking about it, right? If you want to like kind of look at all the different games that Microsoft is in charge of now, the list is tremendous. Call of Duty, Diablo, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Tony Hawk, Rock Band, Starfield, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Doom, Wolfenstein, Outer Worlds, Fable, Perfect Dark, Forza, Clockwork Revolution, South of Midnight, Indiana Jones, Evil Within, Hi-Fi Rush, Prey, State of Decay, Gears of War, Contraband, Halo, Killer Instinct, Ghostwire Tokyo, Quake, Rage, Hellblade. Man, just it's even more than that. It's crazy to think what Microsoft is doing and the way that they've been able to kind of accomplish all these things that they've been able to accomplish, considering all the negative stuff going around about them and all the hate and that kind of stuff. So it is so nice to see some positivity come out of this and to see Microsoft really kind of come out on the winning end when nobody outside of a few people really kind of predicted this. So many people, even Xbox fans I know, and that's not a knock on them, they're led astray by, people that are commenting on this too. So when you see people go, oh, well, they only have a 5% chance of this going through or whatever. To be honest with you, I look at this and I go, look, Microsoft is, the way that they've kind of handled themselves has been pretty excellent, to be honest with you. And for me personally, I want to see what this is going to lead to. People want to know what's going to happen in the future, and I think that's exactly what they need to do. This is a huge get. We're in the content wars, and who has more content than Microsoft, right? Who's going to be able to offer that? I mean, every year, like clockwork, you're going to see Call of Duty, right? Like, that is huge in my opinion. So that takes care of one of those big things right there. Like, are we going to be able to get out content, the 4 big games a year? Well, yeah, Call of Duty takes care of one of those spots right there. So I think that's where we're kind of at with this whole situation, and we're going to only see this become more and more of a reality as Microsoft goes forward. So a very exciting time, and I'm sure a lot of you are excited as well. I'm definitely interested in hearing what you guys think about this, because like I said, it came out of the blue, but also it's not very surprising as well. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, this has been an incredible kind of 18 months if you think about it. Like, I think gamers on all sides got less than what we would have, less announcements, less everything, due to this being held up the way that it was. So I'm excited to see what can kind of free now. Maybe Crystal Dynamics was being held on to by Embracer just temporarily until Microsoft closed this deal. I could see them definitely picking up Crystal Dynamics. I would love to see them grab Tomb Raider. Would be direct kind of, since it doesn't look like there's an Uncharted anymore, it'd be a direct kind of line and competition to that. And that's the exciting part that I think people really need to look into, is like what the future holds for Xbox. These games are starting to come. So we'll see what happens, but I mean, this is cool, man. We are like so close. We are at the finish line. This thing is going to pass, and a lot of people are going to be very upset about that. A lot of excuses about that, but it's been incredible to see the amount of positivity wrapped around this as well. So what do you guys think? I'll link it. You guys can check it out. The FTC has been defeated. Thank you so much for watching. Crap Gamer out.